Now we're going to combine the key signatures, the keys, and the degrees of the scale. That's the last part of the assignment at the bottom. Always be careful to read the instruction carefully, because it could ask you to write the scale in quarter notes, half notes, not in half notes. And you've got to make sure you look at those instructions. It will also ask you, write them ascending, descending, or both. Read the instructions carefully, and of course, make sure you know whether it's treble or bass clef that you're writing. I'm writing everything in treble clef at the moment, hopefully to make it easier on you. And then you need to make sure you're quite adept in both treble and bass clef. Now, you're going to get asked the question in two different ways when it comes to using key signatures, keys, and degrees of the scale. Remember, when they're asking you for the degree of the scale, they're just simply asking you for the one of the notes within the 8 notes of a scale. If they want the mediant of something, they want the 3rd note of the scale. If they want the dominant, they want the 5th note of the scale. That's all they're asking for in the question. So don't make it any more complicated than that. Now they're going to ask it in two ways. One, they'll say, okay, using a key signature, okay, instead of accidentals, use a key signature. Once you use the key signature, well, then you don't need to worry about accidentals, because the key signature looks after it. Looks after all of the accidentals. It's actually one of the simpler ways of doing it. So they want the mediant of B major. B major is the name of the scale. It starts on the note B. The name is always the tonic of the scale, the first note. And then you derive everything from that. B major, remember what I told you? Is that B major is the name of the scale. The last sharp will always be the 7th note of the scale. The last sharp. Well, that means one note before B. Well, what's one note before B? A. Father Charles goes down and. It has 5 sharps. Those 5 sharps are placed here. Father Charles goes down and. There we go. That's the key signature of B major. Father Charles goes down and. Now, the mediant is just asking you, okay, what is the 3rd note of the B major scale? Well, B is 1, C is going to be 2, D is going to be the 3rd note. And you write the note D. Now, where you write that note D is irrelevant. You could write it there. You could write it way up here if you wanted, on the space above the 2nd ledge line. Or you could write it down here. It doesn't matter. Just choose one and put it there, and that becomes the mediant of B major. It doesn't matter where you put it. So there's one question. Next question, the tonic of F sharp major. What's one note before F? E. Father Charles goes down and ends. Has 6 sharps. Father Charles goes down and ends. Oops, no, we don't need battle. We only need 6 of them. So there are the 6 sharps. Remember, they go one after the other. Do not pile them on top of each other. Don't make them too big, and don't space them out too far. You won't have enough room. But that comes with time and experience. And then they want the tonic. Well, that's easy. The tonic is always the name of the key. So if they want the tonic of F sharp major, then the tonic is F sharp. You don't need to put the accidental or even worry about it. You just put the note. You can put it there or anywhere that you want. It doesn't matter. I'm just giving you options. Now notice that the mediant of B major is not D, it is D sharp. It's one of the sharps. So in the scale of B major, the actual scale is B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. That's the scale. And they're asking you, what is the mediant of B major? Well, we didn't have to put the sharp sign because it's in the key signature. But the truth is, the mediant of B major is D sharp. Remember that. Here, the tonic of F sharp, that was easy. It's F sharp. The second type of question they can ask you is using accidentals instead of a key signature. So you're not going to use a key signature. All you're going to do is write the note, and then you have to check to see, is it sharp in that key? So first of all, the dominant of E major means the 5th note of E major. So E, let's do the scale. E, F, G, A, B. B is the 5th note of the E major scale. Now we need to see, okay, what is the key signature of E major? Well, E major has 4 sharps. How did I know that? Because the note before E is D. Father Charles goes down. Is B any one of them? Father F, Charles C, goes G, D sharp, or down, which is D. No, B is not one of the sharps, so therefore the dominant, the fifth note in the E major scale is B. Because the scale is E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Alright? And the last one, the leading note of D major. Again, we're not using a key signature, so we have to figure this out. Okay, what is the seventh note of D major? Well, it's C. I can either count up the 7 notes or just go back 1. Okay, because the tonic is the first note and the 8th note. And you'll learn to do this quickly, because if it's the 7th note, I do not want to go D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Why not just go D, C? Just go back 1. So the note is C. And again, I can write the C there. I could write it down here. You can write it anywhere you want, okay? You make your choice. Now we need to figure out what is the key signature of D major. Well, we have to go back 1 note to find it's the name of the last sharp. Well, the last note, or the 7th note before D is C. Father Charles. Oh, so it is one of the sharps in the key signature, so we have to put a sharp sign beside it. Because the scale of D major is D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. So therefore the leading note, 7th note of a D major scale is C sharp. Once again, like always, if you have a problem with this concept, don't worry about it. Watch the video over again. See if you pick it up the next time that you listen to it, or next time that you listen to it. And then, if you still don't quite understand it, come and see one of your music teachers, okay?